Yeah. You want to get inside a news director's head? Here we go. So I asked a person who I'd worked with. He was a news director here in D.C., also in San Diego and in Cleveland. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. Being a news director is a lot like being a football coach, okay? And that you're rarely looking for the best available athlete. What you're doing is you're drafting for positions. So if you've got a night side opportunity, yeah, you're going to look for someone who can do breakers, who can, do live shots and stand on their own 2 feet, right? If they're looking for someone dayside, you might be looking for a really good packager or someone that does feature stories, heartfelt stories, or you're looking for someone like who's covering city government. So it's important to have the inside information on that. Otherwise, first of all, we all know you're sending an email into a black hole, right? Because every news director has hundreds and hundreds of emails. But here's the thing. You need to call to let them know that you sent an email so they can look for your email so you guys can actually chat. And we have had so much success with this. 2 people so far, this week even, have thanked me for telling them that. They weren't going to do it, and guess what? They started talking to that news director. One of them had an interview, and the other one's being considered. So, you want to get some information about the position so that you can then tailor your stuff to it. I know it's work. Yeah, it is. But news directors are darn busy people. Of course, you have to think about diversity, right? Gender, age, ethnicity, language. Do they need a Spanish-speaking person? You could be a great reporter, but they're looking for a Spanish speaker in San Diego. Well, okay, you're not going to get the job. Someone else comes in who can do that. If they've got 5 blondes, they're not going to bring in another blonde. So you can have the greatest feature story in history on it, but if I need an 11 p.m. killer live shot artist, and that's his words exactly. You got to get in the mind of the news director. And let me tell you, I have pages of this stuff here. So if you can figure out the exact job that news director is looking for, then you can customize your reel. And also remember, the person who's leaving isn't necessarily the person that they're trying to replace. Maybe they had been looking for that person to leave for a bit, were happy that they left, and now they need something new and fresh. So you got to find out. Get some inside info. Let's talk about the on-camera montage. The news director gets to put a name with the face. You could have some anchor stuff cut into it, but if you put too much and it's a straight up reporting job, then the news director starts to think, maybe you're going to be always bugging them to anchor. I'm sure people would feel like that about me. And you want to start hard with urgency and some upbeat and warmer stuff, like 1 or 2 shots in. You want to have that in. And again, he says also, all rules are meant to be broken. If you got something killer and memorable, put that in for sure. You want to have some urgency. You want to have that montage be like boom, 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 right? Like quick cuts, like there's an actual, rhythm to it. Have a good daily package in there, like a daily turn. You may think that the president coming to your town is like, whoa, I can't believe it. But guess what? Everybody in your market's going to have the president came to town. And it's going to be pretty boring because the president is the president. Like, it is what it is. The best thing he ever saw was a guy in San Diego who had 2 great daily stories on his reel. One was an old lady kicked out of her trailer for having dozens of dogs. And he said, I've seen this kind of story a million times, but this was the best ever. I thought I could smell the dogs, and I was afraid I was going to be bitten. I mean, be yourself. Because I'll be the first to tell you that everyone is expected to do everything. When the tornado hits, the sports reporter is going to become weather reporters. But if your dream is to be the world's greatest feature reporter, do you really want to BS yourself into a nightside breaking news job? Despite all the above, make sure your reel reflects the best version of you, and let the chips fall where they may. So that's some good info from a news director. And how often do we get someone who's going to really give us the inside stuff? I didn't think about some of this stuff, and now I feel like I got some good info, and I hope you do too.